Hello, everybody. Welcome to the 32nd episode of the Gentleman's Gank podcast. I'm Jonathan,
I'm Pierre.
I'm Dominic.
And I'm Tim.
and tonight everybody is Irish.
I mean, last night.
Well,
Actually, by the time you read this, it'll be a while ago.
Well, yeah, but
No,
stop
it'll be
ruining the
Irish.
movie Magic,
Also-
Tim.
If anyone's actually reading this, well done. So that means someone made a transcript. I don't know who.
or
Thanks,
the,
I guess.
the YouTube transcription thing actually started working.
It works
actually
sometimes.
works now.
No, that's what I was saying. That's what it would mean. It would mean that they got it working.
So,
You're saying words, but they don't make sense.
So he's talking.
So we've
Yeah,
got
pretty much.
news of good things and news of bad things, depending on how you look at them. Let's look at
And then probably news of ugly things too.
for mobile as well. Speaking of ugly, Tim. No.
Wow.
Shots fired.
Pew pew. Alright, so Sony is shutting down PlayStation Mobile.
no surprise there.
I never really knew what that was to begin with.
Yeah, PSM games will no longer be distributed starting July 15th, and the dev portal will shutter on November 30th. So, it was a little framework so that developers could create mobile games for PS Vita and PlayStation certified Android devices. But
So anything that was a Sony phone.
yeah. And nobody really liked it. There were some good ones, but nobody really liked it. So,
Can't understand why.
because nobody buys PlayStation stuff.
Except for those who want to play it for graphics and sit alone, very lonely.
Yes, but they also aren't using mobile devices.
Obviously, it's the console for you, Jonathan.
I don't care about graphics, though. Remember? That would be the one for you.
No, graphics aren't a big deal to me.
They're
I
you're
argued this
living,
before.
Even though you're an artist.
and you just said like graphics are your life.
No, I get to be nitpicky about them. I don't have to live. I don't have to enjoy them.
What?
Anyway,
Okay.
shall we?
Yeah, moving.
So
Go ahead.
I was about to say, on a scale of 1 to 10, how big of a scam is Mars One?
Oh, I was gonna continue on the same topic, which was mobile devices,
Oh, well,
and talk
that
about
works too.
Nintendo, because
Yeah.
moving from one topic to another seamlessly.
When have we ever done that?
So on a scale of 1 to 10, how big of a scam is PlayStation Mobile?
No. Moving on, mobile. Big news: Nintendo has announced that it is teaming up with DNA.
That's D, lowercase e, capital N, capital A.
Pronounced DNA.
Yes.
10% of DNA's stock goes to Nintendo, 1.4% of Nintendo stock goes to DNA, and Nintendo is going to be, through DNA, bringing its IPs to smart and mobile devices.
Now, to be clear, that only is counting for new games. They're not going to be re-releasing older games for the mobile market.
And very specifically, they have said, we have no intention to do that, because if we cannot provide our consumers with the best possible play experiences, it would just ruin the value of Nintendo's IP. So, we might be looking forward to good stuff there.
So
Yeah,
the
one more-
implication
Go ahead,
the
Tim.
implication there is that some of their best possible experiences, well, none of their best possible experiences are in past games.
I guess that's how you could put it.
I don't think there are many people who would agree with that.
Well, you're still going to end up with, more likely for the first year, you're going to see nothing but the big name IPs of Nintendo. So there's
Yeah,
going to
of
be a little
course.
concern on that. So for now, you're going to I think Nintendo is going to be testing the waters per se with this, and see how things go with DNA.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And it's very apparent that they have a lot of faith in this, because, I mean, they actually, like, exchanged stock and everything there.
Oh yeah. Well, to be fair, Nintendo stock just became valuable again after that news brought it up an additional 30%.
Yeah. Along with that news, there was an announcement that they are working on their new platform.
Okay. It's not so much that, it's more of that they've confirmed that they've been working on their new platform.
See, but this is a thing that we've known about already. And I know you're going to say, yeah, I predicted this long ago, but I'm pretty sure at the time we all said, no duh, this is what they do.
Oh yeah. No,
I
I'm
mean-
not gonna say that.
Okay. Because you said you were.
I was gonna say that, but then every news outlet burst about the news.
This is a we know that they know that we know situation.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
You know, as soon as this, they're calling it, or it's codenamed NX, as in like the character in the character X. And as soon as Project NX comes out, I'm pretty much immediately going to be like, oh hey, Nintendo's working on their next console.
Pretty much. I mean, that's just how it developed.
Breaking news. Breaking news.
I mean, we talked about this back when PlayStation said the same thing after they released PlayStation 4.
Yeah. Also, just a heads up, they're probably all working, already coming up with concept designs for the console after NX.
Yes.
Now.
And we're not going to see whatever NX turns out to be for another couple of years.
Of course not.
We want to see we'll see the full lifespan of the Wii U before we move on to the next one.
Yeah, because Wii U's only been out
for 2
for
years.
almost 2 years, yeah.
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 That's fairly standard procedure. News about the PS5 being designed was leaked before the PS4 actually launched.
Yeah,
That turned out to be rumor and speculation, if I remember correctly.
but it's also
though.
true.
Yeah.
I mean, whatever rumor and speculation, they can't prove it, but it's happening anyways. That's
Yeah.
just how this system works.
Yeah,
But
even
that
if they
design
weren't
is-
before, they are now.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's just going to be a case of whatever comes out right now is still going to be so fresh in the water that you can't even test it.
I said this off the recording, I'm going to say it again. If the first NX prototype is not named Enterprise, there is no justice in this world. The three of you in the audience who are Star Trek fans are laughing right now. Or crying,
If we're lucky
depending
to
on how
have
much you
three.
like that
Dude,
show.
I've been rewatching that recently. Like, the first, 6 episodes are terrible, but after that, it gets pretty good.
Oh, yeah.
Also, I hate the fact that the theme music is pop.
That's
It-
not really pop.
Alright, so we have the original series which came out, and it was, for the time, fancy music. It was
Yeah,
pretty it was pretty
That
typical,
was
but
about
it-
as poppy back then as Enterprise was when it released.
Not really, though. Not if you look at the style of music around at the time. It's more poppy for the stuff that came out afterwards, but it was not poppy at the time.
Dominic, we should have our other conversation.
Pierre, we can still hear you.
Dominic, you're not transmitting.
I'm still here. I'm just not saying anything.
Well, now you're transmitting.
And then we got the next generation, which was epic orchestral theme, then Voyager, which was epic orchestral theme, then DS9, which was epic orchestral theme, then Enterprise, which was poppy
Acoustic guitar and orchestral theme.
with singing.
Yep.
Also, it's the
So
first
was
one
the
to
original.
not start with Space, the Final Frontier.
No, DS9 and Voyager didn't start with that either.
Okay, but that wasn't an Enterprise-focused one.
Your point?
He
Have
says
you
trying to
there?
recover from his own failure.
Have you finished the show? Have you watched all the way through it before?
Yes.
Then you know it finishes with that.
Yeah, but so? I mean,
Spoiler alert.
technically, the entire
It's
series
been
starts
out
off.
for more than a decade. I don't think that counts as
Spoiler
spoilers
alert.
at this point.
Yeah, but no one wanted to see it.
Hey, I like that show.
Also, if we want to be technical about it, the whole series starts off with it, where Jonathan Archer says it like really slowly because he's just quoting it from Zephyr Cochrane.
Yeah.
But that's like the series premiere, not the entire show.
Hmm.
But whatever. That's unimportant. So, what's a scam? Someone please give me the definition right now.
Did you say this game or this scam?
I said, what is a scam?
Ah,
So pretty much
Here?
right now, Mars One, the Mars One scam, is pretty much a pay to win that might not actually pay out.
A fraudulent scheme or a swindle.
Thank you, Dominic.
To cheat or defraud. Also, to kiss and caress or make out with is apparently what scam on means. Or to have sexual intercourse with.
I
Are you
don't think
really
it's
reading
meant
from
that for
Urban
a few
Dictionary?
decades.
No, this is the actual dictionary. It's slang, but it's in freedictionary.com.
Okay.
Does it say when that definition passed into or out of formal use? Or
When did
common
I
use,
ever say it
guess?
was formal use?
Common use, then.
Not that I see on here now.
Yeah, I'm
believe-
thinking that hasn't done much since the 60s?
Oh, 2010. There we go.
No one was saying scam on in 2010.
No one that you knew.
How do you know?
Yeah, you would
Dude,
have to
I
have
was
friends
using
first.
that all the time. I really wasn't.
Anyway, back to Mars 1.
If people don't already know, Mars One is a project to pretty much send the first couple pioneers to establish Mars for us.
It's also non-profit.
So they said. But it seems the process of getting qualified for it is point-based, not rank-based, but point-based. And you can improve those chances by making donations, buying merchandise from them, and a couple other things. And their medical checks for this, one gentleman, he was a physicist who was interested in the project, had to be checked for pretty much get a physical to be checked to see if he'd qualify. It was held over Skype with their equivalent of a medic.
It's not how physicals are supposed to work.
No, not
You're
at all.
supposed to physically do the thing.
Yeah. So there's a lot of speculation that's been coming up more recently. Tim would argue, I'm sure, that Mars One has always seemed a little sketchy from the beginning.
I don't think
But-
you would
Yeah.
have to argue.
No, he wouldn't. it speaks for itself at this point. That there is some level of there's something really wrong that's starting to show up now.
Well, they actually did do some concept studies contraction with Lockheed Martin and Surrey Satellite Technology. And
Did you say Siri satellite technology?
Surrey.
They did do some with Lockheed Martin, and they say as much on their website. And then you actually go and talk to the companies, and they said, yeah, they came to us, they paid us a bit of money, we told them it probably wasn't going to work that way. So
Yeah.
yes, they consulted with Lockheed Martin. They neglect to say what Lockheed Martin actually said to them.
Yeah.
So, if they can get their tech to work, which they don't currently have, even if that happens, there's not a terrific chance that they can actually do what they want to.
See, what I
Their
don't
safety
understand
margins are
is why
absurdly
they
low.
want to go to Mars. Because, I mean, I understand Mars, that's cool. That's the place we've always wanted to go live on. I mean, there's always been dreams of life on Mars. But there's like...
Have we wanted to? Seems boring.
But there's like 10 other heavenly bodies in our solar system that have water and are like closer to the size of Earth, and
Yep, but none of them have like little gray people.
The main reason we're going to that one is that it's the closest one that has the least question marks about habitability.
And risk of,
yeah, there aren't
dying
any
in the
question marks.
process.
It's a no.
There is a general no, we don't have the tech to do it right now on Mars. With the other planets, the question marks involve just getting there.
Yeah.
Psh, we can
So
send
Venus
satellites
is-
there. So.
Yeah, Venus, we can only do Venus if we can build a city in the clouds, which NASA is actually thinking about, but hasn't actually done anything with yet. Mercury's
NASA
out of the
thinks about-
question.
Oh, so you mean
No,
Cloud
no.
City?
No, when I said 10 other planets,
More or less, yeah.
10 other heavenly bodies, I did not mean Jupiter, Venus, Mars, Mercury. I meant heavenly bodies, as in Titan or the other moons that actually have recently been studied and definitely have water.
Heck, Eris might be a candidate.
Yeah,
That's even closer than Jupiter.
yeah. So,
But yeah, again, the reason we're not looking at those is because
we're stupid.
a Mars mission would take currently, I believe, 3 months to get there. And that's just the closest candidate we have. To get to the other ones, it might take years. And we do not have the technology to
Or
stick people in a
resources.
spaceship for years right now.
Alright, I
Yeah.
know you can't see it because, this is a podcast and not a video podcast. But I'm raising my hand right now. Why don't we go to the thing that's like a couple of days away? The moon?
Scientifically, that is a fantastic idea. Politically, boring.
Yeah.
Yes, but who says that politics has to be involved?
Politics is what controls most of the purse strings here, at least until SpaceX and ULA and all those other players start stepping up their game.
Well, why is Bas Lansdorp, the entrepreneur behind Mars One, why doesn't he do that? Why don't we make a non-profit organization to go to the moon? Stay
Well, in
there?
that case, it actually does make a little bit of sense, because it would take a lot less to sustain a sustainable colony on Mars than it would on the moon.
Why are you so negative? What a negative Nancy.
He's not being negative. He's being a realist.
Psh, like I said.
And I'm supposed to be the optimistic one, and I'm agreeing with Tim on this.
The optimist says the glass is half full. The pessimist says the glass is half empty. The realist says, what did you do with the other half of my water?
No. That's what the, damn, what's the word?
Then there's the surrealist.
And he's just
No.
counting giraffes
The
off in a
glass is
room
fish.
somewhere.
There's the
So, anyway,
opportunist.
I
Ooh,
give
hey,
you a
glass.
hamburger.
going back to the moon would be a scientifically fantastic idea, at least as a stepping stone right now, and maybe even establish a base on there, but we don't really have any way to make a sustainable colony on the moon right now. Just getting the atmosphere and the scrubbers, hauling those up there, would take more resources than we can actually put in orbit right now feasibly.
Live in domes
That's what I'm talking about.
with
The atmosphere and the
trees.
scrubbers themselves to get up there, much less the materials for the domes themselves.
This
We don't
isn't like
currently
the-
have the
Forget scrubbers.
infrastructure to transport
Just
that there.
Forget scrubbers. Just build a dome, put a bunch of air in there, and then shove a bunch of trees, and then just leave them for a while.
In what soil?
Make soil.
Lunar soil will not grow trees.
Unless they're lunar trees.
Again with your negative Nanciness.
This isn't the Mars mod for Minecraft.
Wait, there's a Mars mod for Minecraft?
Yes, you
I
can
think it turns
fly
everything into sand.
You can fly off to the other planets as
Do you mean
as well as the moon.
Galacticraft?
Yeah, Galacticraft.
Well, guys, that's the end of the episode. We will see you next time. This has been Jonathan.
Pierre.
And Tim.
Bye.
Good
See
night,
ya.
everybody.